Okay, we're ready. What do we got here?
Oh, it's a little bit familiar, I guess.
Sort of familiar, yeah. So,
Not this exact car.
not this exact car. This is a little bit, the thumbnail might be a little bit clickbaity to some, but we are going to turbocharge a perfect R32. So in some people's ideas or some people's minds, they may consider us ruining a good R32. For us, Clayton and Kayla own one of these.
It's definitely not ruining it.
They're slow as balls, really. They're, especially in this day and age with the Mark 7Rs being as, making as much power as they can, or as much power as they do. These cars, although built very unique compared to the other Mark 4s, or very differently compared to the other Mark 4s, they just lacked on the power. They're like a 3,400 pound car, right? Around there, right?
I think, yeah, between about 3,300 and 3,400 pound, I believe.
Right, and they make 240 crank horsepower. We're going to dyno this one as it is stock, and we're going to talk more about how stock this is.
And some of the other differences. Between North American and what this actually is.
Yeah, so before we get to the dyno stuff, we just want to dyno it beforehand, before we do a full, we're going to tear this thing completely apart, pull the engine out, head spacer, turbo kit, exhaust, clutch, a whole bunch of stuff we're going to do to it. But the history behind this thing, for one, it's a Japanese car, got imported from Japan to British Columbia, so completely west coast of us. And then the owner picked it up and had it shipped from BC to Quebec, and then recently drove it down here for us to do the work on it. So it's a pretty clean R32, isn't it, Clayton?
Yeah. How many kilometers and miles on it?
It has 73,000 kilometers on it, which is only
Americans
45,000 miles.
Yeah.
So like literally, back in time. We're back into 2004 because this car it's unmolested, really.
It's like new.
It's like new. But we're going to talk about a few changes or a few differences between the Japanese R32 and, say, Kayla's US or North American. Well, we didn't get the R32 here in Canada, not this one. So some differences, Clayton.
Yeah, first off, it comes with the, and I'll probably put some B-roll, I guess,
Yeah.
but the headlight washers, the projector headlights themselves.
HIDs.
Yep, stubbier front bumper. It has a true Euro rear bumper.
Right.
Gray headliner.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
But has the black interior. Still has the dimple dash. Still has the vents that close off. The cup holder that every Mark IV owner hates that comes up over the stereo, instead of the one that's in the center console like the North American ones. It also has this little weird change area thing for the back seat driver, I guess, that opens up. We'll show some of that as well. What else am I missing here?
Sunroof.
Oh, yeah, which it doesn't have one.
Right.
Which is, Dave and I like. Kayla's like, I like the sunroof, but
yeah.
Dave and I are kind of, everything should be a race car, and race cars don't have sunroofs.
Right. So that's unique. What else was there? There's
a couple other like evap type things that are different.
A couple small
that
things
we've noticed. It didn't come with. Did we talk about this?
No, that's what we're gonna get to.
But he had to put those on for, what was it, for...
Yeah, so for this car to be safetied, and I think in Quebec they only have to do it one time. So for it to pass and be safetied, he needed to do a couple of things. One, these are just stick-on markers. They're literally just reflectors, so he can peel those off at any time now. He had to change the tail lights, which are basically now a like Golf CL tail light. It doesn't come with the smoked section, so the back of it kind of looks like a regular CL Golf tail light. And he had to do daytime running lights.
Yeah, which is common. We have to do that too.
Yeah, that's a common one. And I think that's pretty much it in order for him to get it safetied to be able to drive, here in Canada.
And I think that's normal for any vehicle being imported into Canada.
The taillights too?
No, I don't know what the deal was with the taillights. If he has the stock Euro taillights, maybe he can ship them to me.
Yeah, the taillights, that's a weird one. But yeah, so it's very low mileage. The owner has had it for about a year and a half, and he follows along on our channel. and seeing that Clayton had posted or had mentioned in a video one time we were pulling all the parts off of Kayla's R32 that turbo kit was for sale. And this guy picked up on it, and here it is now. So we're going to dyno it in stock form. Clayton and I took it for a drive just quickly to make sure there's nothing super weird with it. It definitely needs more power, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's crazy the difference, and I know the purists are there's gonna be guys that are gonna hate that we're modifying a perfectly good R32, but these things just lack power so much. And back in the day, I had a MK4 24 valve VR6 GTI. That car dynoed, I think, 189 wheel horsepower, and that was without a tune at all. So for the difference, I suspect this is probably going to dyno anywhere from like 200 to 210, probably.
I would say.
For the difference in power between those two cars, this car weighed like 300 pounds more. So they were like virtually the same power-wise. So this thing definitely needs a bump in power. It's going to make it way more fun.
And personally have driven both turboed and non. It adds to the car, it truly does.
Yeah, yeah. So we're going to get to dynoing it. Vroom, vroom. So Clayton, what do we got to discuss, as always?
I forgot one thing when I was going through the stuff.
No,
Stubby mirrors.
Okay, yeah, stubby mirrors, yeah. But that's not what I was getting at.
Oh, what were you getting at?
This is an all-wheel drive car
Oh, yes.
on a two-wheel drive dyno. And for those that don't know, this car primarily works in front-wheel drive. We just electronically disconnected the all-wheel drive portion of it so that we can dyno the car on a two-wheel drive dyno.
Which is what you have to do it, really.
Basically.
Yep.
Yeah. So, was there anything else?
We don't want any questions in the comments stating
I thought that car was all-wheel drive. That's not a real R32.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what it makes stock. I've never had a stock R32 on here.
No.
Or 3.2. So all the 3.2s I've had on here have all been modified, tuned, turbocharged, whatever.
Proper thing.
Proper thing. So we're going to do the same thing to this one, but we're going to start off with just a base, just to get an idea.
Yeah. It'd be cool to see if Japan limits them any more than what we thought too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're ready to do the first run on this pristine MK4 R32. Just making sure the tack's good on the dyno. We already got lots of heat into it. And here we go. What did I say beforehand, Clayton?
You said 200 to 210.
200 to 210.
That's
so it
perfect.
did 209 for the first run, 221 torque.
And it sounded like an R32 there.
It did kind of sound like an R32 now, yeah. It's so quiet, like running like this. You guys probably can't even really hear the car running. It's so quiet. But we're going to probably do 2 more runs just to get a proper baseline like we always do. And then we're going to start with the fun.
Cool. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. Clayton?
Yo.
We're going to do run 2. So let's talk about this.
Okay.
We'll talk about it after this run.
Good start. Oh wait, why aren't the back wheels turning?
It's not really an R32.
Damn it.
It's just a 32. Okay, second run on this. First run was 209. And we're ready to go. They're identical, man.
Need more power.
Well, barely, but yeah, 210, 221 again, so
It's good.
it's like rock solid. This is what a stock R32 does. Remember that one guy that commented and said that the crappy video footage of the dyno graph and he bounced?
Oh yeah, here. There you go.
Bye. So 210, 221. The crazy part about this is that we're really going to, our goal is to double the horsepower.
I like that.
Double the wheel horsepower of this car. It's going to be a totally different animal, as you and I know, because we've driven them, but it's, I mean, this isn't going to be a regular chiptune upgrade. When he comes back to get the car, it's going to be a different animal. So we'll do one more run just to back it up. Clayton, think of anything else that we might be forgetting about this unique stock R32. Clayton, last run.
Perfect.
Give a little bit of time to cool down. Same thing. We're just going for consistency here on this channel, you know. Provide good data. Stock R32, unmolested, 45,000 miles, or in this case, because this car is in kilometers, because it came from Japan, 73,000. And let's do it. Might have been a little misfire in the middle there. 211, 208, and it dropped. Oh, I came into it a little later that time too. So we got our baseline. It's time to start having some fun with it. So I think there's a couple things we want to talk, maybe a couple more things we want to talk about before ending it, but we'll get out and chat. Clayton, you filming?
I am.
We did basically 209 to 211. Pretty darn consistent.
Yeah, what, 220 torque, right?
221 torque pretty much every time. So this video, we're probably going to do like maybe 3 videos. It's really uncertain what we're going to do exactly, but in my head, we're probably going to do 3 parts. This will be part 1. Part 2 will be disassemble the engine, maybe show the parts that we're putting on it.
Reassemble.
Maybe reassemble in that video too. And then the finale of making some jam with this thing and having some fun with it. So if you guys have any questions or comments, this one, to give you guys an idea, it's getting a GT35 and a turbo kit that Clayton and I mostly built ourselves back a while ago. But we do have the bumper. Our goals are to kind of be similar to what Kayla's car was. In the front, you couldn't even tell there was a front mount intercooler in there. It's very hard to do on these cars and might be harder to do with the shallower bumper, but we're going to do our best to keep this thing looking just like it does on the outside. It's just going to be a little more vicious. So
Double the vicious.
Double the vicious, yeah. So if you guys have any questions or comments, be sure to ask them below. Clayton, what am I forgetting? Always.
Thanks for the merch purchasers and stickers and all that good stuff.
Yeah, the patrons and the purchasing the merch online. And this one's going to be a fun one, so we're looking forward to tearing it apart and giving this thing a whole new life. So, see you in the next video.